is that time again, everyone, where I go over the top comic sales for the previous month. So time to go take a deep dive look into what's happening with the comic sales for July. I'm going to go through the top 50, then I'm going to go through the rankings for each of the different major titles and see how they fared. I already did a video on how badly DC Comics has performed, but we're going to get a much broader look at it to see how they have ranked in the top 50 and what they've done after that. So let's check it out here. Starting off the list at number 1, we have Batman from DC Comics, which is at number 1. So that's because Batman is really the only thing that sells there anymore. So we have Batman at number 1 on the list. Going down, we have a set of different Marvel titles. Star Wars, Mandalorian, number 1. Daredevil, number 1. Good to see Daredevil back on the top 50. Amazing Spider-Man at number 4. Amazing Spider-Man number 6 is at number 5. A.X.E, Judgement Day, number 1. Well, these number 1 titles usually score pretty high because people usually try to check them out to see what's going on, but A.X.E, Judgement Day, from what I've seen, hasn't really been hitting all that well. So we'll see how that shapes up after that. Dark Crisis number 2 is at number 7. That's shocking. We didn't see Dark Crisis number 1 anywhere last time. That's the next DC title. We keep going down. X-Men. I seriously can't believe X-Men Hellfire Gala number 1 is there. I mean, I understand, again, as I say, it's a number 1 title. It will be there if you want to check it out. But the Hellfire Gala is just them in some supposedly designer outfits, walking around, talking to people, and I just don't think it's all that interesting, to be honest with you. We have more Marvel titles: A.X.E, Judgment Day, Immortal X-Men, Saga, Moon Knight. Next one we have Flashpoint Beyond, number 3. We know more Marvel, Poison Ivy, number 2, which is shocking at number 17 because last time around Poison Ivy, I think number 1 was at, I believe it was number 8 or higher up the ranking, something like that. But it's gotten to number 17 now. Like I said, a lot of these number 1 titles usually hit. It hasn't fallen out of the top 50 yet. Maybe it may hold on, but again, another Batman related project on there. That's really all you get. Next digital we have is Joker, number 15. So we have Batman 89, number 6, DC vs. Vampires, Detective Comics. What next we have here? Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 5. Moving down again, Batman Killing Time. Dark Crisis, World vs. Justice League, Superman, number 1. I did a video on that. That is the one where they basically try to turn Lois and Clark into some of the worst parents ever, and it wasn't very good. I'm not surprised that that's number 41. Again, I've seen them number 1s, this kind of get onto the list, but it's far down, and I don't think it'll last very long after that. Yeah, She-Hulk number 5 at 43. Let's hope that has absolutely nothing. Let's hope that they don't influence She-Hulk with the series they have coming up, although that is something else. We have DC vs. Vampires, Nightwing, and Black Adam number 2. So the majority of DC titles are Batman and Batman related as usual. We get like 1 or 2 just other things, but usually they all have some tie-in to Batman, because again, that's really the only thing from DC that sells. Marvel, on the other hand, have a wide variety of different stuff. They have Daredevil, Amazing Spider-Man, X-Men, Moon Knight, different things on there. That's not to say that Marvel themselves aren't in trouble, but it's just that they're doing better than DC. They have more titles, they have a more diverse lineup of heroes and things on their list. Meanwhile, the only thing that DC is pushing is Batman. They pretty much set out to destroy every other character that they have. So this is the top 50 list here. This is what we get. This is what the list is showing for July. It's not looking any better at all for DC Comics. Now let's look at the more a more diverse look at each one of these titles, so we could see the different events that's happening and what's going on. Let's check out the big events first. Right, A.X.E, Judgement Day is at number 6. Dark Crisis is at number 7. Dark Crisis number 2 is at number 7. I think Dark Crisis has not been shaping up very good at all. Nothing is filling out the way that they expected to, even though they wanted to suddenly change the name to Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is just a lazy attempt to try and drum up some kind of support for it. Because I mean, even the tie-ins, Dark Crisis World of the Justice League Superman number 1 was not good. You have Flash number 784 at 63. Dark Crisis Young Justice number 2, quite possibly the worst comic DC has put out for the year, where they just basically tell everybody in that book that if you ever liked Young Justice before, you're a racist, sexist, homophobe. Don't know why they think people will buy their stuff after that. Star Wars franchise. Star Wars Mandalorian, that seems to be really popular with people. They seem to be getting that, really people seem to like it. But other than that, the Star Wars stuff is kind of falling off. Not a big Star Wars fan myself, so I can't really go through to see what is and what isn't and think. I cannot believe Star Wars Dr. A.X.E is still a thing. That was done with something to try and bring some new character. And look at it, it's at 116 and 119. People just don't seem to be responding well to Star Wars Dr. A.X.E, and apparently they keep trying to push it and it's not working at all. Spider-Man seems to be doing a little better. Amazing Spider-Man, Carnage, Spider-Man 2099, Venom, all of these are in the top 50 here. Spider-Gwen, I don't know why they're even trying that nonsense that is working at all. Spider-Punk is at 60, Spider-Punk number 3 is at 60. Spider-Punk is the definition of why, when you introduce a character for a big event with the whole Spider-Verse thing, people don't want to necessarily see that character anymore. You introduce that character for that event, move on. But now they're doing this entire thing where everybody's a Spider-Person now, and it's just failing miserably. Nobody likes Spider-Punk. We have Miles Morales Spider-Man at number 67, another character that is just floundering. People are not really interested in Miles Morales anymore. I've done a video showing Miles Morales really has no identity other than just being Black Spider-Man. That's about it. And it's showing, because the sales are not, sometimes the sales to focus, sometimes sales that fluctuate, sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down, but most of the times they're down. Going on, we have more Spider-Man. Spider-Man have a rounded approach, sometimes up, sometimes down, but it's there. It's what you're getting with Spider-Man. X-Men franchise, though, X-Men has books in the top 50. I'm not going to deny that they have books in the top 50. They have books in the top 100. But realistically speaking, a lot of people are getting desensitized to X-Men. They don't like what is happening with X-Men. You have X-Men Red that people are not really interested in. Excellent, X-Force, Immortal. A lot of these things are just falling off because people are not liking it. X-Men Hellfire Gala is at number 9. Again, these number 1 issues tend to score, but yes, X-Men have a more rounded approach, and Marvel putting out more things, but people are just not digging X-Men anymore. Honestly, it's not working out the way that they expected to. Hulk is pretty much mundane. We have She-Hulk in the top 50, She-Hulk number 60, Maestro World War M number 1, and then Hulk number 7. Hulk ain't really getting much play these days, so is not really to say in regards to it. We get to the Avengers franchise now. We start to see a different story. Let's start off with Captain America. Captain America Sentinel of Liberty #2 is at number 25. And when you look at Captain America Symbol of Truth #3 is at 104. Anybody, well, I said it. Early on, I said it. This was never going to work. Having two Captain Americas is not going to work. People want Captain America as Steve Rogers. You cannot put Falcon as Captain America and want to act like that's somehow going to be fantastic and people are going to flock to it. It failed the first time you did it. Why would you go back to do it again? But you keep trying to push it and it's falling off badly. It's at Captain America Symbol of Truth. That's the one with I think that's the one with Sam. Well, Falcon #3 is at 104. It's fallen out of the top 100 by the third issue. People are not digging it. They're really not. Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor #2 is at 28. That's slowly going down the ladder till it eventually falls off. Ant-Man #1 is at 53. I haven't seen a really good Ant-Man, anything for Ant-Man in a while, so I can't really say whether that is thing, but for #1 issue that should probably have been higher. That really should have been higher. We have different Avengers books here, and we get to Captain Marvel #39 is at 98. Why? Because I keep saying it. Captain Marvel is not a character people really like. They don't like it. They really and truly don't like Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers is an insufferable pain in the neck. Everybody knows that. And you could try to spin it any way that you like. It doesn't work. She's barely inside the top 100 at 98, but usually the books drop much lower than that. It's not really working. To get the Batman franchise, now we have Batman #125 was at #1, covered that. Flashpoint Beyond, Poison Ivy, Joker, Batman Detective Comics, Batman World's Superman World's Finest, Batman Killing Time, Nightwing, and then we get down to Batman One Dark Knight #3, Batman the Night #7. All of these have fallen out to the top 50, which is not really good for Batman. Normally Batman used to be at least somewhere in the top 50 and thing, but you know, it have other things, and as you keep going down, you start to see what's happening. It's Batman fatigue. Catwoman, Robin, Batgirls, but nobody really cares about Batgirls whatsoever at all. Detective Comics was a heavy hitter at 122. I Am Batman, why is that still around? I don't know. Batman Urban Legends, that's with actual Bruce Wayne Batman's at 127. Harley Quinn, I covered these in another video, but again, Harley Quinn, popular character at one time, underused, wasted, look where it's reached. Batman Fortress #3 at 153. That's at #3. That is at 153. Why? Because when in your first issue you had Batman that was supporting Antifa, and people weren't liking that you're not writing these characters the way people like. As you keep going down the list, you keep seeing it more and more. It's just terrible. Let's check out the Superman franchise. Batman, Superman World's Finest, #5 at 20. This is the highest on the list because why? When it comes to Superman, when you get a character that comes to DC, if Batman is not a part of it, they don't score high on the list. Dark Crisis with Justice League, Superman #1. And we have Superman, Son of Kal-El, #13, with Woke Superman, John Kent at #65. It just keeps dropping further and further down the list. Nobody likes John Kent. Nobody likes this book. And they keep pushing it. Superman Space Age #1, 96. Action Comics at 112. Action Comics is a comic that is with Superman. Clark Kent Superman. No, not this god awful Superman. Clark Kent Superman cannot even crack the top 100. This is a sad turn of events. And when you get to what even sadder now, you get to Wonder Woman franchise. Wonder Woman, a character they have totally underused. Wonder Woman number 789 is at 130. Artemis Wanted number 1, another waste of an issue that didn't even have a reason to exist. Nubia Queen of the Amazons number 2 of 4 is at 175. Nobody likes this Nubia Queen of the Amazons nonsense, but they keep pushing it like it's the greatest thing to come out ever. And then unranked Wonder Woman Evolution number 8. That means that it was. That means that it didn't even crack the top 200. It sold so little bit it couldn't even be ranked. Couldn't even be ranked. You get to Justice League franchise, a Black Adam, Dark Crisis, Young Justice number 2, horrible book. Black Adam, Justice Society, Justice League versus the Legion of Superheroes. I mean, if you needed any more publicity that these things are not good ideas, look at it. Justice League versus Legion of Superheroes number 4 is at 117. Multiversity Teen Justice number 2 is at 173. Nobody wants to sit and read 24, 25 pages of a bunch of lesbians screaming at each other and some gay guys screaming at each other too. Nobody wants to read that. And we have unranked Aquaman and the Flash Void Song number 2. Sold so low. Didn't even crack the top 200. Aquaman number 6. Well, that needed to go long term. And then of course we have Naomi season 2 number 5 unranked. If anybody was ever any doubt that Brian Michael Bendis going to DC and that's destroying everything was ever something to be terrified about, here it is. Here it is. These are the things. This is what it is. This is what it is. So we go from the top 50, showing what's there, and as we go through the different franchises, we're seeing just how poorly all these comics are performing, especially when it comes to DC. Yes, Marvel have a few more things going for it. Marvel have a more diverse roster of heroes and stuff to put out. Okay, DC is banking everything on Batman and failing miserably. So that's the roundup of the July comics. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.